Hello and welcome. I am Scrabberlock, and this is City of Heroes. We're with level 33 Brute Liberty Lass, who has 2 million XP earned, 400,000 ish to go to get to a level 34, 11,800,000 influence, earned, and we're on a story arc, Rise of the Vampyri, and so we need to go to the streets and interrogate the council. So now here is one that always gets me. I think this is the one. Where you have to defeat 10, and then you have to defeat like 15, and then you have to defeat like 25 or something. And I always auto-complete the first one, and then, let's see where we're going to go. Independence, Port North. I always auto-complete the first one, and then the next one is worse. And this is one of these, missions I wish the Homecoming developers would go in and fix. Just make it one thing. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who detests the street hunting, and so they don't have any need to do that. But my recollection for this particular mission is that it's several missions, and your escalating numbers are needed, and so we're going to hold it off until we have the bigger numbers. At some point, we're sure to get ambushed, I think, as well, and that will help because we'll get ambushed by 2 or 3 or 4 guys. The more the better. Six more council to go. That's 5th column, so we don't want them. That's council. And we can, pretty much 1 and 2 shot these guys. 2 more to go. And they're right here. So here we go. I'm not even going to bother to use build up. See? Now we have to defeat 15 council. And then I think we have to defeat 20 or 25. So this is actually one that it's pretty much not worth. Hey guys, come on in. Come nice and close. Are you guys gonna come in here? Come on. There we are. Alright. Boom. Boom. Let's range attack him. Got him. And then there's this one guy in the water. Fortunately, you can attack while swimming. So can he, but yeah, he has no chance. There's some more council. This will take care of most of them. Right? And now we just have 3 to go. That's 5th column. We don't want that. That guy's council. Yeah, but it's just 1. So let's see if we can find more council. There we go. Oh, it's just 1 as well. Is this somebody I left alive, maybe? Or awake? 5th column, we don't want. Did these guys come back? They did? Or, well, somebody else here. Oh, here we go. So now what I'm going to do is take 1 out. And then 1 out. Because I think it's going to ask me to do more. See? Now defeat 20. So since we're here, we'll just do them. Right, that takes care of all of them. So this is one that's frustrating because the total you need to get is obnoxious. It's, what, 45? But they give it to you in little batches, making it completely useless to do the autocomplete. Right, now that we're down to 12, am I going to burn an autocomplete on that? It's not worth it. Right, so we may as well just finish up. And I don't know, post comments. Do you guys detest these stupid defeat 20 on the street missions as much as I do? I also hate the fight between the 5th column and the council. Here's the ambush. Because then, like in a place like Boomtown, which is where it would be my instinct to go, As soon as you get anywhere near, they're like in position to fight each other as spawns, right? So you'll see, we saw it a little bit here, there's a spawn of both, and they're facing each other, and they haven't actually done any damage to each other yet, right? But as soon as you get close, they start fighting, and if you don't take them out, if they take each other out, you don't get credit for it. And so it's really aggravating to try and hunt Council, because in a lot of the street areas, there's also Fifth Column, and the story is maybe interesting that they're fighting each other, but it's incredibly frustrating to try and get the number that you need. And for this particular mission, again, auto-completing doesn't necessarily help, because you still got to get about 25 of them. You could auto-complete the 20, but at this point it's not worth it. And the main reason I didn't is because I got those 2 guys, and there were like 8 guys around me, and I was able to immediately knock it out. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and do it. But I find these missions really annoying, and I know why they exist, right? They existed. See, these guys are fighting each other, and if I don't get in here fast enough and do enough damage, I won't get credit for taking them out. So I only got credit for 1 guy, even though I knocked a bunch of guys out, because the other ones were taken out by the NPCs. Yeah, I know why they have the missions in here, right? They have the missions in here, defeat so many guys on the street, because they didn't have enough content in the game, right? And this kept us busy when they didn't have enough content. But they do have enough content now. They don't need missions to take up our time, right? And so they really could have gone back and fixed these so that you don't have to do as much of this silly stuff. Alright, so now we're going to arrest Tedesco and his men over at their base, which is in South Independence Port. I guess it's a little closer to the South train station. Let's see how much. It's about 0.98 miles. 0.2 miles. My guess is it'll be like 0.5 or so from the South train station. How much time this is saving because we got to wait for the train, I don't know. Right, and then there's the time it takes to load in here. 0.73 miles. Yeah, it didn't really save me much. It would have probably been faster to just straight fly here. I do like this zone. It feels very much like an industrial port. They did a really nice job with it. I always liked Independence Port, although of course I prefer at this level Range Talus Island just in terms of its aesthetic. It's a much prettier zone, but I feel like all the zones are very atmospheric, and Independence Port is one of the more atmospheric ones. I really like it a lot. Like I said, it feels a lot like an actual port. Hey guys. Yeah, if you think about like the street hunting missions, when you get to level 40, some of them are hunt carnies in Peregrine Island. Ugh. I always autocomplete those because it's so frustrating to do that. Alright, now we need to actually pay attention to getting into focus mode and use our big attack to one-shot people because we're now fighting yellows. It's not grays anymore. Let's not be lazy. Not that I absolutely have to do that, but I was being lazy because I got used to fighting grays, which are no threat to us, but obviously yellows potentially are. Probably not from the council. However, if we get into oranges and reds, they are, as you saw, I think in the last episode where I had trouble with spawns that had like 2 Vampyri and a Werewolf in them, and they were all red to me. I think I captured that on video. These guys are all just +1s though, so they're not really an issue. A couple of AoEs and they're ready to go down. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use one of these things that doesn't drain focus mode, and then whoever I fight next, because I thought I saw somebody over here. Oh, maybe not. There we go. If I can get to him fast enough, I can drain the focus on him, but I don't think I got to him fast enough. Nope. That's because it took me too long to find him. Up here by himself? So we're looking for genetic data. So that means we're going to need to find a glowy. Haven't heard anything in the area. Oh, here's another guy. So that must be a patrol. Patrols were added after launch. Originally, all of the spawns stayed in whatever area they spawned. But in one of the earlier updates, I don't know, 2 or 3, something like that, they included patrols that would wander around. It's one of these things where it was a good idea that, you know, could have been executed a little bit better. It's sort of half-hearted. You know, the patrols are there, they exist. It's sometimes possible if you are fighting a spawn and a patrol comes along right at the wrong time, you'll get into an over-aggro situation. But it doesn't happen very often. And most of the time, the patrol is just out in the middle of a hallway somewhere, and you just take it out like a normal spawn, and it doesn't really have much impact. Yeah, I feel like in City of Heroes, it's a great game. Obviously, I love it, and I play it a lot, and I'm doing Let's Plays with it, and I've been playing it for years. And overall, they did a lot of really good stuff, but every so often, they made some decisions to do things that sounded really good on the surface, like the escort missions, and then when they actually went to execute them, they just didn't execute them very well, and it ended up being like worse than if they just left them out. Right? I don't think City of Heroes benefits at all from the escort missions. I don't think it benefits at all from the patrols. And they could have better spent their time on other stuff that it might have actually benefited from. Now, I mean, you know, it was a cool idea. I think it also doesn't benefit at all from the new style of missions like you see with Michael Habishi and Twin Shot, where they're trying to do all these stories through cutscene dialogue and stuff. Like, the game was just, the engine was not really designed to do that. And I feel like those missions just, like, they don't really add anything to the game. You could have just kept the old story arc method of doing things, like we're doing with this, and keep the missions the same in terms of who you fight, and you'd probably be fine. It's not clear to me that they really added anything with those elements. And I over-aggro here again. Now, I guess, I don't know, maybe some people like them. But, yeah, I didn't find any of that stuff to actually add to the game, and I feel like, in a real sense, the game probably would have been just better off without them. Now, on the other hand, Ouroboros, I think, added a lot. It allowed me to go back, it allows me to go back and do flashback missions. The actual story of, what's his name, Fallout and Jim Tembler is pretty good. Those missions actually weren't bad, but they were still done mostly in the old style of doing missions. Whereas the Twin Shot stuff, ugh. I did it a couple times, like, I can't do it. I will never do those again. I just do not like them. What happened? We didn't find any genetic data. I didn't click on any glowies. Yeah, there's the glowy. Why didn't I have to click? Wow, it's not even here. Oh, here it is. And there's a clue, right, that we didn't get. Council work orders, we got Tedesco's story, but it shouldn't have done mission complete until we actually got the clue. That's buggy. So this Archon Tedesco was actually trying to stop a vampire progenitor. Yeah, the vampires are out of control. The vampire progenitor is secreted away in the sewers. He'll be heavily guarded, but if you can take him into custody, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We might be a little light on inspirations for this. Let's head to the base. I think if we're going to fight a progenitor who might be an elite boss, I think he is, we're going to need some purple. Fortunately, I still need to work on this base. The medical center has 2 nurses. And we can just go to the nurse. They're mostly here for appearance, but we can sell stuff. And we can go to the nurse and buy some luck. And another heal. And that's probably what we need to fight the bad guy. We probably won't need the inspirations for anything else. And so we can head back. And we're going to Talos Island to finish off the progenitor. I think this might be the end of the story arc. And if so, we'll probably finish with that mission, and then I will go back and do some flashbacks, probably level 20. I've done most of the level 25 to 29 now, so I'll be doing 20 to 25, I guess. Slowly working my way backwards. I'm not going to do anything 30 to 35 because we're still in that level range. And of course they're in the sewers, because where else would the vampires be hiding? Hey boys, ready to go to jail? It's so nice to do that AoE and then the radius AoE and then the cone AoE and take out. Look at this, 95%. And I missed him twice. To do those 2 AoEs and do so much damage to them that you can basically take out the remaining guys with 1 hit each. And that's with the cone not even actually enhanced for damage yet, which we're going to need to do at some point, but we don't have enough slots yet to do that. There's usually somebody hiding over there. Oh, they're on this side this time. Wow, miss. Oh. So yeah, guys, leave comments. Oh my gosh, the missing with 75% and up to hit. Go ahead and leave comments about the missions you like and don't like. I don't know, maybe I'm the one who doesn't like street missions and other people like them. It's possible. Maybe you guys don't like sewer missions. My best friend said he didn't like the caves, right? The regular caves. He hated them because they're often like multi-level, and in some of them it's really hard to like find the last nook or cranny of where you have to go to complete whatever part of the mission you're doing, whether it's defeat all or click glowies or what have you. Other people hate Orn Vega. Some people don't like the labs, I guess, or the offices. So, yeah, let me know in the comments. Are there particular missions you don't like? Are there ones that, like me, you tend to skip and autocomplete? Like I do all the street sweeping ones when they get over at this level, except for this one, because I knew what it was going to do to us. I tend to do I tend to autocomplete all street sweeping missions because I hate them, and certainly once you get over like 30 or 35 that you have to do, they're just so boring. And oftentimes they're asking you to street sweep for mobs that in the on level zones they don't exist, right? There aren't any. I don't think there are any council. Well, I guess there are in Bricktown. But sometimes there are none in your level range, or if they are, they're in such a limited set of places that it's hard to find them, and they're a pain in the neck. Like finding a needle in a needle stack, right? It's just not pleasant to have to like keep searching around for enemies to fight when you can go into a mission and they're right there. Oh, here's the boss. Okay, hang on. This is just a progenitor. This isn't an elite boss, so I don't know if this is the end of the story arc. We're certainly not going to need a whole tray of inspirations just for him. So there's a few more guys to fight. But yeah, I mean, maybe some people preferred the street sweeping and hate the door missions. I don't know. Some people really like to do architect because they feel like the missions are designed more to their liking for whatever reason and whatever that means. So yeah, leave comments. Which types of missions do you like the most? Which ones don't you like? Are there ones that you always skip, that you autocomplete? And that is the end of the story arc, guys. Wow. I could have sworn we were going to face at least an elite boss. It's pretty disappointing it was just a boss. I've had tougher fights with random werewolves. Alright, let's call our contact. There we go. We have prevented the rise of the Vampyri, I guess. So now we're going to need to find another contact, and we'll go back to Bricktown now. We're sort of alternating. And we do have some time. It's only 22 minutes. So let's go ahead and do a mission. This will get us started, and then I'm going to go do some story arcs. Oh, how many reward merits did we get? 42. So where are we now? 521, guys. We only need 79. So I'm going to do some story arcs with the flashbacks. I don't know how many merits it's going to give me, but it'll give me some. And then we'll come back and we'll do Allison King's arc, whatever that is. It may put us on it right away. I'm not going to take it right. Well, I guess I could take it right away. It won't hurt anything. In the old days, I know there was a limit to how many story arcs you could be on at once. You used to be able to only take 3 missions. Of course, there were no flashbacks when the game first came out. And I feel like you could only be on 1 story arc at a time, maybe? Somebody check me on that. Then at one point, I think you could be on up to 3 story arcs at a time. And now I don't know if there's a limit. I know you can have more than 3 missions. So our 2 options are to give the council something to think about and hit their operations in Founders Falls. So now this is going to be finding council in Founders Falls, no thank you, or retrieve council robot parts. Let's do the council robot parts. Yeah, I know there's some council here. I don't even know where they are in Founders Falls. I guess there's some in the Gaspy. I mean, Founders Falls, you have Cray, you have Circle. I think there's Devouring Earth. Are there Devouring Earth, or is that too high a level for the DE? Gosh, I haven't been in Founders Falls in so long. There's council right there, you know. So if it was defeat council in Bricktown, not that I would do one of those, that'd be a little more reasonable, but I'm not even sure where they are in Founders Falls. Plus, I'm not going to go fight 40 council. I mean, I'm going to fight 40 council in this mission. Let's count and see how many we fight, right? This is 3. Right? This is 3 council members. I'm sure I'll fight more than 40 in this mission, but it's a lot more enjoyable to just go fight them than to have to, like, search all over town for them. And in some of the zones, they're only in one part of the zone, one little district. Okay, so we have to find 3 sets of robot parts. And we've fought 3 council so far. Here's 3 more. So this will be 6, right? That's the other thing I remember saying to one of my friends. If I could take the defeat 40 council mission, and he could take this mission, and it would count. That as I was defeating them in his mission, it was counting towards my 40. I wouldn't mind so much. But you can't do that. So that's 6, and this is another 3, right? So that's 9 that we've already fought in here. So if you're wondering why I zoom in with this map, it's because sometimes with it zoomed out, it's hard to see where the hard edges of the walls are and where the possible tunnels and access points are. And I often go along the walls just to make sure that I haven't missed any. This particular room is one that, of all the rooms, I've been in probably the least in the council bases. So there is a hallway up here, but let's go up and see if there's anybody up top here. Man, I love flight. For this kind of thing, it's awesome because you can just go anywhere you want. But I don't see anybody up here. So we're going to head down. So we've fought 9 guys so far. Is this another 3? 2? So that's 11. And I can't believe what total focus is going to be like when I get around to enhancing it. So we've done 11 guys so far. And there's some spare parts. So yeah, let me know what missions you like and don't like. Also, those of you who have a different kind of style of going through missions and how you actually approach the process of, cleaning out bases, fighting villains, and so on. If you do it a different way, I'm sure there are lots of other ways to do it from the way I do it. Let us know. And particularly so that people who maybe don't want to play it the way I'm doing it have other ideas that they can read about and try. 2 more guys, so this gets us to 13. So this boss is way tougher than the progenitor, am I right? I think he's resistant to... Oh, I shouldn't have done that. He's resistant to my smashing part of my damage, but not the energy part. And there is a badge. We just earned the sensation badge. That must be for influence. Do you know if the White House is passé? I don't know what. So if anybody knows, is that a badge for the mission? Is this one of these like one-off mission badges, or did we get it for? If we're sensational, for influence. This is 14 guys we fought here. Well, this is the huge luck one. This one is plus 33 defense. Excellent. So 14 and 15 right here. Hopefully I'm counting correctly. And 16. Not hearing any glowies here. This is one of the newer rooms that they added in one of the later publishes after launch. Another one that I'm not a huge fan of. So what's the pattern of the ones that I say I'm not necessarily a huge fan of? It's the ones that are very like labyrinthine and maze-like, and it's really hard to get into every nook and cranny, and that you can't tell on the map where you've been because they're 3-dimensional. So you can clear the map. That was 17, by the way. you can clear the map, or apparently clear the map, and you actually haven't cleared the map, and you don't realize that you haven't been on one of the levels. And there can be some guy, was this 18, 19, and 20 here? There can be some guy on one of the levels just hiding out, and if you don't defeat him, you can't complete the mission, and you don't even know he's there. These guys make some noise, they beep, but not everybody does. And so I find that sort of thing frustrating. The needle in a haystack stuff is really not my thing. Now, it's just one mission, it's not that big of a deal, you don't deal with it that often. I definitely hear another council robot. Where the heck is it? You see what I mean? So this is one of these things where if I hadn't caught that right there... Where are we? 21? Is this the 21st guy? I don't know, I've kind of lost track. Something like that. If we hadn't caught that guy, it's the kind of thing where I might have had to wait until I defeated everybody else to get the red arrow. And I hear a glowy, and I have no idea where it is. I heard it over here. Ah, there it is. Come on. So again, I know that they added this to make it more interesting. I'm not even sure what the purpose of that room is supposed to be. And all of the sort of three-dimensional stuff where they could be hiding anywhere and you have to defeat them all. This will get us to about 25 guys, I think. I feel like I clicked these buttons and they weren't activating. What's going on? Man, another miss. Another miss. Man, and I have double accuracies on these powers now. There we go. And that takes care of the mission. So let's head out. We will talk to our contact. That'll probably clear the clues. Well, we gotta go to her. Allison, we will meet you, and then that will be the end of this episode, guys. And I will head to Ouroboros and do some flashbacks, and I'll bring you back when I have completed those. And I think I'm going to need to set the notoriety +0, because trying to do +1 flashbacks at 20th when I'm sidekicked down at 20th level is going to be rough. Okay, so Library of Souls. Oh, the Library of Lost Souls is really cool. So we will do that when we come back after I've done some flashbacks. But we're going to stop here. And guys, until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Heroes.